So, part two of the interview with Chynna, Dakota, and Felicity was released. Now, this section of the interview is about how court went. And of course, Felicity has to pipe up immediately and say very loudly, "It was dismissed," trying to cover her own ass because she knows she was wrong for this whole situation. Now, China Doll just starts to speak on it. She tells us that Tiffany was supposed to have no part in this. She actually could not even be in the courtroom because, she is not a relative. She's not family. She wasn't there. She was not in the household, any of this. So Tiffany was asked to leave the courtroom, and she told Felicity, "Make sure you tell the truth." And China Doll, make sure to tell us that Felicity was under oath and said that Chynna had broken 15 of her bones and that Felicity's ankle was broken and she had just had the cast removed the day before court. Now we know that was a lie, but my question is this. Why has nothing happened to Felicity? Why is she not getting some sort of a charge or something? She lied in court under oath. She filed a false DVP. So basically that's like a false police report. Why is Felicity not facing no repercussions from this? And I say it every time, why is Chynna still messing with these people? They tried to take her livelihood. They wanted her in jail. They wanted her away from her child. And I keep saying it, what's Felicity's next lie going to be? She's not... Somebody's going to end up in jail or something bad is going to happen because of Felicity and her lies. So Crazy K asks Chynna Doll if Dakota and Felicity had apologized to her for this whole fiasco. And she says, Felicity apologized. And Dakota, I couldn't understand what he was saying. He was speaking very lowly, but it was not an apology. So even after being called out, Dakota still did not apologize because Dakota played a part in this too. I mean, he was more of a silent part. It was Felicity running her mouth, flipping off the camera, "Fuck you, Chynna," on the way into the courtroom, and then talking about she hoped Chynna went to jail for the rest of her life and all. But Dakota went along with it all. So he played a part in this. So he owes an apology also, but even after being called out, he still didn't apologize. And then Crazy K is asking how Chynna ever even met Dakota and Felicity. And she says her mother always feeds the homeless, and she'll feed, I don't know, I think she said between 80 and 100 people, and something about she feeds the homeless because of her. I don't know what part Chynna played in this, but anyways, her family had seen Dakota and Felicity out there, and Dakota apparently was very sick. It was cold, and her family felt bad for them and took them in. I understand feeling bad for somebody and they're being sick and whatnot, but just somebody you don't know just welcoming into your home to stay there? Chynna's mom must be a very, very compassionate lady because, to start, these two were staying with Chynna's mom and Nisha because I guess they live next to each other, Chynna's mom and Nisha. So that's how Nisha came into the picture. I finally put that piece to the puzzle. And then, so that's how they met. Then, Felicity, for whatever reason, starts to talk about Corkle. She mentions Corkle's having all kinds of problems with his girlfriend. Now, how would she know this? To my knowledge, they are not in any kind of communication with Corkle, and Corkle doesn't want any kind of communication with these two. He tried, he got burnt, he walked away. But Felicity claims she hated Corkle from day one because he was trying to break up Felicity and Dakota. That's because I believe that Corkle genuinely cared about Dakota, and he wanted to see Dakota do better. I mean, that's why he went so far as to getting Dakota a whole apartment. He wanted him off the streets. He took Dakota to see a doctor, a dentist. He got him several pairs of eyeglasses because he kept breaking them. He kept buying him phones because he kept breaking them. He was buying all the groceries in this apartment for Dakota. I would say he probably even bought all the furniture and everything that was inside of that apartment. He wanted to be Dakota's friend. He wanted to get better for him. Of course, he wanted him away from Felicity because he sees Felicity was pulling him down. You know, Felicity was making a mess in this apartment, being loud, you know, and she wasn't supposed to stay there. And at that time, she was staying with her parents, but as soon as Dakota got a place, she all of a sudden fabricates. I'm going to say fabricates because I believe that, you know, she couldn't stay with her parents anymore. But she hated Corkle from day one. I guarantee she didn't hate him on the several occasions he bought her a phone, because she also kept breaking her phone. Did she hate him when he took her to the dentist, the doctor? Did she hate him when he got her in the hospital when she nearly died from sepsis? Because she had a UTI that had went on too long. Did she hate him when he got her man an apartment? And I bet she knows absolutely nothing about what's going on with him and his girlfriend, because I don't think I haven't looked into him on social media or anything, but I'm sure he has put nothing out like that. But so that was the interview, and it was just more of Felicity pulling and tugging on Dakota, making him sit on her lap, and absolutely ridiculous. You know, I fear for Dakota's safety. I really believe that Dakota is a victim of DV. I really do. She bosses Dakota around. She does not let Dakota out of her sight. She tells him what to say. He doesn't answer questions without first looking to her, almost like he's getting approval from her to speak. He does everything she says. I mean, she's constantly got to have him in arm's reach. She's always has her hand on him. She yells at him. We have seen her even, in play, just hitting him. And I mean, being very rough with him. I don't know. I think that there's a DV situation going on there. I really do. So we'll have to see what part 3 is going to be. I'm sure it's just going to be more nonsense, more lies from Felicity, and whatever else. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if someone did this to you, filed a fake report on you, and said you did all these horrible things. Would you continue to help them? It couldn't be me. I would have had real charges, and they probably would have been like battery charges, because I guarantee once this thing in court would have been dismissed, I would have probably handled that. You said what about me? But I can be hot-headed. Maybe Chynna must be a better person than me. That's all I know.